Hi everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name's Lizzie and today I'm telling you about my latest sewing make, which I am wearing now. So I'll tell you a few of the basic details and then I'll give you a twirl, show you it in its full glory. But it is a jumpsuit. It is the new look 6446 jumpsuit, which you can see here on this lovely model. And I chose to make this because I'd seen a few people online make it. So I think, for example, I think the Crafty Pinups made it, but I think I originally saw it on Instagram from someone else. But anyway, yeah, I was inspired full on and wanted to copy them and make it myself. It's really on trend. So the whole culotte style wide leg trousers are really in at the moment. And I have to say it's not normally my style. I'm normally more of like a fitted kind of person, but I really wanted to give it a try. This is the fabric that I made it out of. It is a beautiful bright green with like a squiggly crazy pattern on it. I bought it online but from the Village Haberdashery and it's designed by Pippa Shaw. The name of it is Friedlander Green Wool in Fern. It's a cotton, it's really nice and lightweight, really soft, and it's been brilliant in the hot weather we've been having recently at keeping me cool. I bought 2 meters of this fabric because at the time I didn't know what I wanted to make out of it, and 2 meters generally is enough for me. But 2 meters was not quite enough this time round. This is all I have left. This is the one scrap of fabric that I have left from my cutting out. So I did incredibly economical cutting out. And I had to be quite imaginative, so it was a challenge for sure managing to cut it all out. I mean, luckily I needed to make the legs shorter anyway, so I took 10 centimetres off the length of the legs. If I hadn't have needed to do that, then I would have been really stuck and I would not have had enough fabric. I actually had to cut the front bodice piece on the bias, which I know is not ideal, but luckily it's not a directional pattern. So you can't notice, thank goodness. So I'm going to insert some clips for you to see what it looks like, but essentially you've got these nice chunky straps here, and I really like the width of them because you can wear a bra underneath if you want to, if you need to, and then the bodice has this nice sort of strip across the front. It's got 2 darts here, and then comes down to this lovely waistband. I really like that it comes with this tie. It just means you can cinch the waist in that little bit more, and then it goes down into the trousers, and as you can see here it's got these sort of what are these called, pleats, 2 pleats here, and then the best bit is it's got pockets. I've never made anything with pockets before and I am just so delighted with them. I have to say I'd never really understood what the big fuss was about pockets. So many sewists and dressmakers go on about how delighted they are whenever something has pockets, and I used to think, why is everyone so fussed about pockets? Now I know, it's so good having pockets. Yeah, and so from the nice pleats here and the pockets, we then just go down into a nice wide leg trouser, and yeah, they're really comfy, really nice shape, really different for me, but I'm super chuffed. I just think it makes like the perfect summer outfit, and because the trousers are like below the knee, if it's a slightly cooler day or if there's a breeze, you know, you're not going to be freezing cold if you've got like a jacket or a cardigan or something. But then equally, I've worn this on a really hot day recently and the lovely light cotton kept me really cool, so winning from the summer front. I also think it would be such a good one for dressing up and dressing down. You could dress it up with, you know, heeled sandals and some bright lipstick, or you could dress it down with like a casual jacket and some Converse. Yeah, I think it's a really versatile one and I can't wait to get more wear out of it this summer. I did have quite a challenge with this pattern in terms of working out what on earth size I should cut out, which I think probably most people have this problem, but I'm obviously not a standard size. My, you know, the measurement for my bust matches one size, the measurement for my waist matches a different size, and a different size again for my hips. So, oh, I just had no idea what size to cut out. But because I haven't used very many new look patterns, yet. I wasn't sure how reliable their measurements are anyway, so I didn't want to bother going into loads and loads of effort to try and grade between loads of different patterns. So I just decided to cut out one size, obviously on the slightly larger size of my measurements, to then just adjust it afterwards. So I cut everything out, all the pieces out to a size 8, and then made adjustments later. So I'll run you through the adjustments I made just in case it's useful. So I took 10 centimetres off the legs because, well, I'm not short actually. I'm 5'5.5", very important half. Yes, that's roughly average. I think average is like 5'4" or something, but I did take 10 centimetres off the legs just to make it more flattering for me. Despite cutting everything out to a size 8, I actually cut the crotch, literally just the crotch, lower to the size 16 line. Reason being, I've got a really long body, so I just knew that the size 8 would be too short in the body, and I needed to allow for that. Yeah, and this is perfect. I'm really glad I did that. Otherwise, I'd have just had a wedgie or worse. So, and that's not what you want if you're wearing a jumpsuit. You definitely need enough length in the body. What else did I do? Oh yeah, so the bodice was one area where I maybe needed to cut the size 10, so it was a little bit snug, but all it meant was that I just used a 1 centimetre seam allowance instead of 1.5, just to give myself that little bit of room that I needed. Again, because I was a bit worried about the length in the body, I also only used a 1 centimetre seam allowance when attaching the bodice to the trousers, just to make sure I had enough room. The top of the back bodice was a little bit gapey, so there are 2 darts in the back. So, oh yeah, I didn't tell you about that when I sort of did my twirl. So there's a dart in the back of the bodice and a dart in the back of the trousers, and I actually took the dart at the back of the bodice all the way up, like instead of having it stop halfway just to get rid of the extra fabric that was gaping. Although these trousers are supposed to be very wide-legged and kind of culotte style, they were a bit too wide on me to start with, so I did then take ½ an inch off each leg from from just below my hip, from about where the pocket finishes. I took ½ an inch off that, the side seams of each leg, just to slim them that little bit and make me feel a bit more comfortable in them. So yeah, there we have it. Those are the kind of minor adjustments I made, nothing too extreme, but it was good that I was really careful to try it on kind of every step of the way, just to make sure yeah, that I was sewing it accurately. It was actually a really simple sew. There was only one thing that completely boggled my brain, and I had to think about it for ages, and that's the pockets. So let me show you again the style of pocket that this has. So it's like, I think this is called a lapped pocket, because basically the material disappears inside the pocket and then this front piece comes over here. And essentially, I'm sorry to have to blame you, New Look, but your instructions are absolutely rubbish. I think everyone kind of knows that, but these kind of traditional commercial patterns are well known, sadly, for having rubbish instructions. And yeah, the instructions for putting this pocket in were just so vague, and the illustrations were actually wrong, which took me a while to work out, which is why I was scratching my brain so much. So on the key, it showed, for example, like speckled dots on the fabric to show, for example, the right side of the fabric, but then it didn't match the actual illustrations. It was the wrong way around on the illustration. So for ages I was going, but look, on the diagram it says that bit should be right sides up, but on mine it's right sides down, and oh my gosh, it was I had no idea what I was trying to do. But now I've done it once and worked it out, it's one of those things where it looks all weird and wrong, and then as soon as you turn it the right way, it goes, oh great, that makes total sense. So yeah, now I've worked it out once, I think I'd find it much easier next time to put one of these pockets in. And I definitely want to, because I think it looks really nice and very helpful as well. So there you have it, that's my very first homemade jumpsuit. It's so comfortable, it's really stylish, it's really fun to wear, and yeah, I can't wait to wear it more. Do remember to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you'd like to see more of my videos. I'm hoping that my next video is going to be an upcycling project, because I've got an old checkered shirt of my fiance's and I want to turn it into a top. So yeah, do subscribe if you want to be made aware of when that one comes up. I will just say I am quite struggling with sort of fitting in much sewing at the moment, because I have a full-time job, but I'm also doing a full-time master's, and I'm having to write my dissertation. So I'm going to do my absolute best to keep my videos coming to you, hopefully every fortnight, but bear with me, I'm writing a dissertation. It's interesting, but it's horrible. Yeah, but I'll see you next time. Bye!